splashing us in.
Pretty sure Sean's doing that right now.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Mixed Reactions. It is a pleasure to be here today on August the 1st, 2023. Here with the usual
Welcome back, Sean.
Original crew. Ian Blackwell, Casey Barrett, thank you for welcoming me. Feels good to be back. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Missed you.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. I know
Shout
you
out to
guys
Justin Duncan for filling in for you, though. He did great.
For real, Justin Duncan did a phenomenal job. He's more than welcome back anytime. Didn't get a chance to be there, but I did get a chance to listen in to the episode. Heard you guys talk some baseball, so for me, that was a perfect episode to miss.
Hey, perfect. The baseball, it came up last, but, you know, sometimes it needs to be talked about when you have a baseball connoisseur like Justin Duncan on the show. So
yeah, we all know Justin Duncan's the baseball guru, so
yes,
anytime
sir.
he's on,
Yes,
we
sir.
gotta talk some baseball. But today, on August the 1st, gentlemen, I'm pretty sure you know what we're going to talk about. This
The
is
National Football League.
the National Football League is correct. This is officially the first week with football. We will now have football on our televisions until the Super Bowl.
It's
The
a
Pro
beautiful
Bowl,
thing.
But who watches that? But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's my favorite time of the week to say that because I just love saying that sentence. It just lets you
It's
know.
one of the most beautiful 7 words. There is football every week until February.
Exactly. And you know, here's the thing. It is a beautiful thing. It's tough, though, in one way. Do you guys know what way that is?
I think I know where you're going with this, and I think where it's not a beautiful way and where it can be a downfall, Sean, especially for you right now, my man, training camp injuries.
It's almost like a holiday, my man. It is almost like a fucking holiday. Tim Patrick again. And here's the thing. First and foremost, I hope the brother is okay. I hope
Absolutely.
he's all right. Obviously, never want somebody to have any type of life harm. It just sucks because it's his second season, man. And just to confirm here, it is let's see, I think it was a torn Achilles. Yep, torn Achilles. Out for the year.
There's no chance.
Zero
He
chance of
plays
coming
this year.
back.
Zero chance.
Tears
I know
in
he's a young
practice.
receiver, but this is the second straight year because last year was what happened to him last year. He tore something again, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe it was his right hamstring or something like that.
Torn hamstring last year.
Yeah,
Now it's a torn Achilles.
I need to look it up now because I don't remember. last year.
Because at this point, like, he's a young receiver. He's shown flashes of being a very, very, very good receiver too.
Yeah, it was a torn
But-
ACL last year.
Torn ACL. Oh my good. So he did the Klay Thompson, torn ACL, then torn Achilles.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you come back to that? Can you come back from
Not
that?
with the Broncos.
I don't.
Because there's no way they're gonna give him. I don't know if they can
No,
give him a chance.
I think his career is done. Unfortunately,
I don't know
who's
if his
gonna take a
career's
chance
done,
on that?
But I just don't think his career with the. I think his career with the Broncos is over. Unfortunately, it sucks to see him go. Because when he did play, he was a leader. But I don't know. Just can't get past training camp. It's tough, man. You hate to see it. I don't think the Broncos season is over, but it certainly does suck.
No, of course not. No, definitely the Broncos season is not over. It's not like they lost their quarterback, although, you know, if we see the same Russell Wilson this year that we did last year, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I don't think we will. I think Russell will have a bounce-back season. However, when you lose Tim Patrick was undoubtedly their number one, if I'm not mistaken, correct, when he's out there?
I believe
Or
so.
is it Sutton? Is it Sutton or is it Judy? No, it's got to be Tim Patrick. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, Sutton last year was pretty rough, so.
Yeah,
I really
it's
miss Tim Patrick
got to
last
be.
year. Tim Patrick was the leader of the team from the wide receiving group.
Which is a very key component. If you lose your leader, like your focal leader as a receiver group, that can have some negative impact. So,
I don't know who they would get. I would love for them to make a trade, get a veteran on the team.
who's out there for a veteran receiver? Do you have anybody in mind?
Here's the thing, it's tough. I don't want to drop any names because it's the time of the year where it's kind of tough to make a trade because it's during training camp. I
Yeah,
guess you can look for players you got cut, maybe. Didn't make the squad. A veteran player, somebody, see if you can bring them over.
I suppose.
Maybe it'll be better in Sean Payton's system. But
See, that's one thing that I was going to say kind of like as the leader aspect now for the Broncos, you have a true head coach now. I think he is not going to let this impact the Broncos the way that Hackett would have, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Did you guys hear
Because-
what? I don't want to get too off topic, but did you? And we're gonna talk about this team anyway. But
What Sean Payne said? Is that
yeah,
what
you
you
know
were
where
gonna-
I'm going about.
Oh
New
my
York.
goodness, this Sean
I mean, he
Payton,
was right.
Aaron
I-
Rodgers beef now.
Fucking shit. That's loser shit they were doing. I don't. Shit. I mean, as a Broncos fan, you got to be happy about somebody who seems like they take winning seriously. Am I right?
Yeah.
No,
I can't
agreed.
say the
To
entire
be
fan
honest-
base is happy about it. I can't say that. But
To be honest,
majority
I respect, in a sense, I almost respect where Rodgers is coming from, though. A, sticking up for his friend and his offensive coordinator. He couldn't have said anything else. It's not like Rodgers could have been like, yeah, I could see why Sean would say that. It seemed like it wasn't coached that well. That's
Yeah.
going to create turmoil in the Jets locker room. Rodgers said exactly what he had to say. You can't not address it either. Because if it goes unaddressed, you're almost proving Sean Payton's point. I feel like Rodgers, especially where he's the leader of the Jets. There's no question about it. I know this is his first year there. He hasn't even been there 2 months yet. But Rodgers is unequivocally the leader in that Jets locker room. He had to make a statement. He had to say something.
I agree. And just to add a little spice to that, the Broncos and the Jets play each other on October the 8th
Ooh, that's going to be beautiful. That's going
Circle
to
that
be
one.
beautiful.
on the schedule.
That's going to be beautiful. Speaking of injuries, too, if we're talking about injuries, the Bengals.
Who'd they lose?
I mean, Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah, they did lose Joe Burrow. Sorry, I took a social media break. So
No,
I'm a little
no, you're
out of
fine.
the loop with
Everybody
that.
needs that. Everybody needs a social media break,
Yeah.
but they're saying that he could be out several weeks. We know there's about 6 weeks till the season starts. So even if he's ready for week 1, he's going to have extremely limited mobility. And so I think that could create a huge impact, especially where Cincinnati has an extremely shaky offensive line. I believe they were dead last in the league last year in sacks allowed. So they are not going to be in a good place if A, they can't protect Burrow, and B, if Burrow can't be mobile and move around.
I
That
agree.
could create some turmoil. I'm not saying their season's over by any stretch, because obviously Burrow's going to make a recovery, and there's a long season ahead of us. But if they get out to a shaky start, say Baltimore or Cleveland, I don't really believe in Pittsburgh this year. I'll never count out Mike Tomlin, but say Baltimore and Pittsburgh, get off to a hot start. Cincinnati kind of goes off to a mid-tier start, and Cincinnati doesn't get a home playoff game. That could absolutely have some postseason impact, which is crazy when you think that a training camp injury that only is going to last several weeks could have postseason impact. That's why football is such a beautiful sport in a sense, because it's one and done in the playoffs. It's like
Yeah.
March Madness. It's anything can happen.
I was just looking up who the Bengals backup is because I wasn't sure.
It's shit. I want to say he played a couple of downs last year. No, whether he didn't. Joey Burrow, he played the whole year. I have no fucking idea.
Oh, it's
who
Trevor
the back-
Simeon, former Bronco. He's
wouldn't
not
have
a bad
guessed that.
backup.
No, he's a serviceable backup.
Yeah, they could be fine.
He's a
as
Very
long-
serviceable backup.
Yeah, they should be fine. As long as Trevor Simeon doesn't get hurt, they should be fine. He's a good game manager.
Imagine Cincinnati having to go to their third string quarterback.
Yeah, that would be trouble. I mean, anytime you got to go to your third string, that'd be trouble. How's things going on in Dallas, in Cowboy Land?
Well, I'm not sure if you guys saw the absolute atrocity that was a couple interceptions thrown by Mr. Dak Prescott, but he seems to be in mid-season form, throwing picks in training camp. So, that's one thing. I did see a clip of him today hitting Brandon Cooks on a deep route. I'm still adamant I really like that pickup, but I don't know. There's no injuries so far, so thankfully that's good. However, Zach Martin is still a no-show. He wants his money. Zach Martin wants to get paid, and I'm not saying this as a Dallas fan. I think any educated NFL fan would say that Zach Martin is the best guard in the league. So if you're not going to pay Zach Martin, you're going to have a significant downgrade on your offensive line, and especially a quarterback like Dak, who led the league in interceptions last year despite missing 5 games. I'm not smelling success. Dak needs to be protected. We need to be a run-first team. I'm not going to hate. I love the Brandon Cooks pickup. We have 3 capable receivers. We lost Dalton Schultz to Houston. We lost Noah Brown to Houston. So I'm not sure where Dak's security blanket is going to be. And if he doesn't have a security blanket, he doesn't have his best guard, I'm not too sure the future of Dak, but I'm not optimistic about this season, especially where I think the Eagles are still far and away the best team in that division. It could get shaky early for my Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, the Cowboys always have a crazy adventure with their season.
Always.
It's always an adventure.
It's always a ride. It's always a ride with them. There's 2 or 3 games a year you can pencil in. They're going to lose a game that they shouldn't, and they're going to win a game they shouldn't. And when the same thing happens every time. Once they lose the game that they shouldn't, fire Mike McCarthy. We got to replace Dak. As soon as they win the game they shouldn't, this team's a Super Bowl contender. It's the exact same story every year. And if I had to put my money on what's going to happen this year, best guess, Dallas will win 11 or 12 games, be the 5th seed because I think Philly will win the division. Toss up if they win their wild card round. If they don't win the wild card round, it's fine. But if they do, they'll lose in the divisional round. It's the same story every single year. It's not going to change.
Do you still get excited before each game, even though you know the outcome that's going to take place?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. That's the fan in you, though. You know, the fan in you will always delude yourself into thinking that you're something that they're not.
Yeah.
Like I do the same thing throughout the course of the year for Dallas. I'm always like, okay, this team can compete. This team can do this.
Yep.
And then they'll go and lose or have a nail biter with Houston, who's 1-10. I'm like, okay, this team fucking sucks. Like it's the same thing. But yeah, of course, I always get excited, and I'm always unrealistic during the actual game. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, I'm very based about the game. No, absolutely not. Once they're in the game, I think once they're playing, I don't care who they're playing. I think Dallas is the best team on the planet. They could be playing the 07 Patriots. And I'm like, we should beat them by 40. You know, but after the game and I've calmed down and I'm being realistic about it, that's how I see this season going. 11, 12 wins, possibly a wild card win, lose in the divisional round. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
That's fair. And one thing I want to say about the Cowboys is the coming off, like you said, every single year it seems like losing in the divisional round. I think what I was going to say is every conversation about them this year is going to start and end with Micah Parsons. You know, I mean, you think about right now with the 6th best offensive line according to Pro Football Focus. If Zach Martin doesn't, if he does continue to hold out and he doesn't play, then, you know, we're going to see how, you know, rough those games are going to be against a division that is suddenly improved. I mean, there's not going to be an easy game unless you go to the nation's capital. I mean, they're just not. I mean, they got on a hot stretch at the end of last year. But I think Dallas, you know, Micah Parsons is obviously going to be the focal point. But, you know, Zach Martin, the Cowboys, for years last year, 9th in snaps played. So they're going to need to have him out there. And otherwise, they're going to look lost on the offensive line. And we've seen over the years a couple of their better seasons. I'm sure you can agree their offensive line has really been their stronger point. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
Look at 2014. Look at 2016. Like, they had the best offensive line in the league. They had the best running attack in the league, especially now when they have that up-and-coming left guard in Tyler Smith, because they're moving Tyron Smith to the right guard position, so they're putting left tackle position at Tyron Smith. They're moving Tyron Smith to the left tackle, and Tyler Smith is going to be the right tackle. And so what they need to do, especially Zach Martin, I don't know if you guys know this, he hit the 99 club in Madden. Zach Martin did.
Oh, wow.
And so if, Ian, you said the 6th rated offensive line by Pro Football Focus, you can drop that down about 15 spots if Zach Martin doesn't play.
Damn.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, especially with you know, an aging Tyron Smith, not as much experience as we saw as some of the Cowboys line in the past. I think that's a pretty steep drop, but that's seems pretty accurate, and that's going to kill them in that division because you're going to be playing against the Giants, and you know they didn't have a bad season last year. They made the playoffs, and they won a playoff game. So.
And so it's
what you ordering over there, Ian?
That's my run.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, man.
And then of course the Eagles have one of the best pass rushes in the league, if I'm not mistaken. It was either them or the 49ers that led the league in sacks last year. So they have an amazing pass rush. When you have a depleted line, a team that loves to blitz like Philadelphia, a team with a great line as well in the Giants, who's only getting better. Brian Daboll has done amazing for the Giants. I think they're only improving. Zach Martin, please come back. Jerry, fucking pay the man. Pay the man his goddamn money. He's the 7th paid guard in the league. Name 6 guards in the league better than Zach Martin. I'll sit here and wait. Name them. Crickets.
Not too many,
because
but
there
it's also
aren't
hard
any.
to name a lot of guards. It's not the most exciting
feel you,
position for a
But the
football
only
fan.
one, I'll say this though, the only one you could argue is Quentin Nelson in
Yeah, Quentin
Indianapolis.
Nelson was good.
That's the only one you could even argue.
I mean, completely different scenarios, but if they could pay Jalen Hurts $255 million, they need to be able to pay an 8-time All-Pro member of the All 2010 All-Decade team. Yeah, they need to give the man his money, otherwise they're going to be in another rut. But I mean, does Jerry really want? I mean,
Well,
you
did
know,
you guys
his
see
ego?
what Jerry said?
Uh-huh.
Did you guys see what
What'd he
Jerry
say?
said about the situation?
No, what do you say?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. So you guys are going to have to look this up on YouTube. Jerry just said the most you know how Jerry Jones fucking talks sometimes? He said the most Jerry Jones statement about it. He's like,
Here, hold
we
on, I
love
can play
Zach.
it.
We love Zach. He's a great player, stuff like that. And he was talking about how, well, there's Micah coming up. We're going to have to pay Micah. Zach will show up when he does, and until he does, there's going to be consequences. It's like, Jerry, no. Slap Jerry in the head. Pay Zach Martin. I don't understand it. I just don't get it at this point.
I mean, having Micah Parsons is great. I mean, and we've seen, excuse me.
Micah's going to get the bag. Micah is going to get the bag.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, we've seen, you know, teams with great defense, a couple of exceptions to the rule, the Buccaneers, the Ravens, but we most of the time, if your offense, you know, if you can't protect the quarterback, I mean, you're not going to shut everybody out in the NFL.
Well, no, you mentioned the Ravens and the Bucs. We must mention, especially for the people who don't know, though the defenses that you just mentioned are the all-time defenses. Like 2000 Ravens, 03 Bucs are up there, the greatest defenses of all time. Dallas is a good defense. 2015 Broncos. Absolutely, Sean. Absolutely. Dallas being a good defense, top 5 in the league right now, definitely not an all-time great defense. We'll see what happens. They added Stephon Gilmore. They have 2 true number 1 corners with Trayvon and Stephon. Obviously, Micah Parsons is arguably the best defensive player in the league. I like that pickup from Michigan in the draft. He's a great run defense. That was Dallas's Achilles heel on defense, was stopping the run. Great. I think his name is Maisie Smith, something of that nature. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I recognize the name.
Yeah, he went to Michigan. So I like that aspect of it. Like the Stephon Gilmore pickup. But just kind of a quick transition here. One thing that I don't like, this happened a couple shows ago, and I'm still kind of nitpicky about it. I don't like how down Ian is on his Rams.
Oh, man. Ian, what did you have them going, like 3-14?
3-14, he said.
I didn't say. I thought I said 4.
No,
it's
you
recorded.
yes, you did.
It's
We have it.
recorded.
It's on YouTube right now. Go watch it.
It is online, sir.
I mean, they took the Logan Paul videos off of YouTube. All right, look, but anyway, I just think we just have a lot, you know, that we're gonna have to deal with. You know, Stafford, it was kind of up and down last year. Who really knows if McVay's really going to be fully invested? We still do have Cooper Kupp, obviously one of the best receivers in football. Aaron Donald. I just don't. I mean, we had talent last year. We just couldn't beat people. It's some of the play calls that Sean McVay makes just don't make much sense. It seems like that always goes right when they go to Cooper Kupp, but I just don't. Stafford's what, 30, 35 now, so
35.
maybe 3-14. I was just a little bit dreading it, but I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't stick behind it. I think we're gonna be one of the whether it's 3 wins or 4 wins. I think we're gonna be one of the bottom dweller teams, to be honest. Whether it's 3 or 4, so I will stand behind that. But 3, shit, I said 3. That's a little.
See, but I can't imagine 3 because you have 2
Yeah, that'd be
absolute
insane.
guaranteed wins against the Cardinals.
That's Caleb Williams territory.
Yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
count out Toddler Murray.
It's like I said, Ian. If you guys happen to play him on a weekend where a Warzone map drops, you're golden.
Would
No
you guys
shot he wins.
take an 0-16 season to get Caleb Williams on your team?
No.
I
And
would.
it'd be 0-7. It'd be 0-17 now. But
True,
Yeah.
true. You're right. You're right.
I'd take-
no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't, because it's unproven. Because
I don't know.
what if? Let me just say this.
You wasted.
I'm sorry, Caleb Williams, if you ever hear this. I got a lot of respect for you. I think you do great things at USC. What if Caleb Williams ends up being Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah, that would suck. But right now, the way he's playing, I know it's against college level
He
players,
won't.
but he looks like Patrick Mahomes. The way he moves around, the way how elusive he is on the field.
Isn't that a little disrespectful to Patrick Mahomes?
Not really.
Saying that a college player reminds you of him?
Patty
Like,
Mahomes
People,
wasn't
they
dicing
make. What are
people
you
up like
talking
that
about?
in
Have you ever
college.
watched the combine?
No, I have, and I get it. But I've always
yeah.
had that issue when they're comparing college players to greats.
I mean, you gotta compare him somehow. Like,
No, I
you
mean,
gotta-
no, I feel what Merritt is saying. It's like, if you're gonna like the greats like Mahomes, the Brady's, the Mannings, like they're so you could have a good career and not even come close to those guys. Like it's crazy.
You
to
can have
compare.
a Hall of Fame career
Yeah,
and not
no
come
shit.
close to those guys.
No shit.
Shit, Troy Aikman's in the Hall of Fame.
Who doesn't
Like, and I'm a
compare? There's
Cowboys fan.
comparison in everything. Actors, artists, musicians, athletes. They get compared to the professional, the up and comings. Happens all the time and everywhere. It's never gonna
Okay,
stop.
but let's put it like this. At this point, this is going to sound crazy. Comparing Caleb Williams, who in a sense has only had one great season, like he had a good one great season at USC, is like comparing Mims to Jay-Z.
You're just comparing the styles, though, is what I'm saying. Is like the style of play. You're not saying that he's going to be as good as Patrick Mahomes, but
No,
he
of
has
course, I know.
traits
I get
and
it.
abilities that remind you of Patrick Mahomes. I'm putting words in your mouth. That remind me of Patrick Mahomes.
I get it. I know what you're saying. And
I've never had an issue with that.
it's
No,
not that I have so much an issue with it. It's just I'm nitpicky about it. Let's put it like that. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, though, did you guys watch the quarterback documentary on Netflix?
Man, through like one episode.
Really?
Yeah, it just wasn't. I just wasn't feeling it.
I-
I just wasn't
I
in the
would
mood.
recommend giving it a second, at least going to the second episode to see if you get more into it. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was really, really good.
It's
and
got
Sean,
a lot
this
of good
is-
reviews.
This is a little inside here. You'll understand what I mean. Ian might, and nobody else will when I say this. Watching that almost got me out of my July or our July tradition.
I can understand why. Something new.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, I still watched the indie seasons of Last Chance U. For all you don't know, I watch that every single July. So doesn't Sean. It's the only seasons of Last Chance U that we watch because it's the only ones that are entertaining at this
And if
point.
you've never seen it and you're a football fan, what are you doing
Watch
with your
it.
life?
I think those are the only entertaining. I mean, that's
Definitely
the most
go watch it.
entertaining season, but-
Skip the first two seasons. Go
Yeah, just watch
watch the
indie.
indie seasons. It's amazing.
First
I
two
watch it every year since 2018. It's beautiful. But I watched the quarterback documentary. I think it took me about a week, maybe less. I watched about an episode a night. It was.
That's pretty good.
I thought it was really, really good.
And like I said, I've heard nothing but good things, but I also think I just wasn't in the mood. Like you said, with watching Last
that's
Chance
fair.
U, and I just was not in the mood for some reason. Plus, you got a lot
You
going
guys,
on.
are you guys ready for Hard Knocks? What do you think of that? I mean, it's the Jets.
That's gonna be exciting.
So it's.
That's a good pick.
I think it's gonna be
man.
exciting too. Yeah.
With Aaron Rodgers there, that's a great pick. He's gonna be entertaining.
They need to bring it to Green. The fuck was that? Yeah, no, they need to bring it to Green Bay one. Sorry, they had the Jets when Rex Ryan was on there. Rex Ryan, let's go
That
get a
was
goddamn
a
snack.
great season.
Yeah, that was like the best is always going to be the original, but that one was maybe the second best because I mean the Jets were coming
What?
off I think just being the
I
Patriots.
thought the Lions last year was pretty good.
You think the Lions?
Wait.
Wait, what's Merritt's best?
Let's back it up. Let's back it up. What the actual fuck did you
Are you,
just
thinking,
say?
are you
Ian?
talking about the Cowboys one? Are you fucking?
No.
serious?
The original Hard Knocks. Seriously, the fucking Ravens Hard Knocks. You think that was the best?
Yes, precisely. Tony Siragusa.
Hell no.
Rest in peace, Goose. Can
Yes,
I call him
rest in
Goose, or
peace,
is that an
Goose.
internal? Darn, yeah.
But hell no.
Your
The
documentary was
Jets-
good too.
The Jets seasons, I think, were the best.
Let's go eat a goddamn snack.
Rex Ryan,
Rex Ryan
he was
funny.
so just entertaining on camera. And obviously, I don't care what anyone says. I don't think there's one single person that's 100% authentic in front of a camera. They change a little bit. Everyone wants to portray a character. Everyone wants to pursue this persona a
Yeah.
little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Even
yeah.
if it's for sure. Even if it's
And
tiny.
so, yeah, exactly. Even if it's a tiny bit, everyone, it's just they're a little extra, I guess, is the 2023 way to say it.
Speaking of 2023, I'm hearing rumors that, and this is just a rumor. I don't even know what the source is on this, but they might cut out some stuff this year that I'm not too much of a fan of. Like, they might take it easy on showing the cuts. You guys hear about that?
Yeah, because they
Are
don't
you
want to hurt
fucking
people's feelings. Because everyone's
are
a
grown
soft-
ass
It's
fucking-
HBO, man. What the fuck?
They better not.
You ever seen the
I
porn
don't-
they show on HBO? It's
Okay.
pretty intense. Why can't they show
Let's
people
put it
getting
like
cut? Fuck that shit.
They better not cut the cuts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you have to show
Bro.
people getting cut. Remember when they showed Vontae Davis getting fucking traded?
Oh, and yeah, in the office. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that shit.
They literally
Chad
showed a man
Johnson.
getting traded.
Didn't Chad
Call your
Ochocinco
grandma.
get cut or something?
No,
that.
Chad Ochocinco got arrested for headbutting his girlfriend.
That's right. That's what it was.
What
knew
the?
it was
I don't
something
remember.
crazy.
On the
They showed him
Bengals?
coming into training camp the next day with a bag of McDonald's.
Yeah. Antonio
didn't
Brown.
Oh, I
care.
remember I remember him with the going for like buying like 20 McGriddles I remember them going to McDonald's, the Bengals. Yeah, I do vaguely remember that. for
No,
sure.
that it wasn't with the Bengals. It was with the Dolphins.
Okay, maybe I'm fucking tripping then. All right, for
He
sure.
might have done the McGriddle thing with the Bengals. But
Yeah, I think-
he
yeah.
headbutted his girlfriend on the Hard Knocks with the Dolphins.
They better not take that out though.
They can't. That's such a real part of it.
You know, Chad Ochocinco used to call his coach in the middle of the night, tell him he was open, and hang up.
Yeah, he did. Yo, speaking of Chad Johnson, did you guys know for the first 2 years of his career he lived in the stadium?
What?
Yeah. For the
Gilbert
first 2
Arenas
years
did,
of his
too.
career, he lived in the Cincinnati Bengals stadium. He's like, they had beds, they had food, they had showers. Why would I leave? He lived there for 2 years.
He came from a rough life though, right? Did he not have a home or something?
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. Crazy though.
That's pretty wild. Good on the Bengals.
Never heard
though,
that
for-
before.
No,
Never did I hear something like that
Neither have
before.
I.
Nuts.
Gilbert Arenas did too, because these guys, they get in and they get confused about how the money coming in works, and they look up and they don't have a dime, and they're like, "Oh shit! Like I'm
Yeah.
broker than me." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's definitely sad. I mean, Giannis used to sleep in the gym. I'd have to look up the story because he was scared to go home. Like it's especially these guys that come from fucking war-torn countries and just fucked up, and it's a crazy
Absolutely.
story though. And Chad Johnson, he's amazing at FIFA. That's got apparently.
Yeah, that's
He played soccer, right? Like for like a semi-pro team or something. Like
Yeah, he tried. He tried to be a bull rider
Yeah.
too.
You guys hear about what happened with Pat McAfee
I don't know.
in my
What?
school? So
I don't think so.
I'm gonna pull it up. It's I'm not surprised that it happened because I know his personality, and I'm not surprised about the outburst that it's gained. But basically, he was talking to one of his buddies about the Michigan State football uniforms, the really
Yeah.
ugly ones with the neon green.
Oh, I
that came
hated
out a couple
those.
Yeah, most people did.
Let's say state.
Yeah, it just said state. So I guess he responded to somebody on Twitter and said Larry Nassar must have been involved with the making of those uniforms. And I'm with the internet today, I'm sure you can guess that didn't go too well.
Wait, Pat
people.
McAfee said that?
Yeah, Pat McAfee said that. And I'm not are you
Holy-
surprised that he said it though?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, because
It's Pat
how
McAfee.
long ago did he tweet? How long ago did he say it? Actually, let me
This was like
rephrase
a
that.
week ago. He actually
Then
dropped
yes,
a
I am, because he
video
just got a contract with
yesterday.
ESPN. So yeah, I'm surprised he said that.
He definitely took it too far. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't you feel I mean, look,
Okay.
You-
Okay. Hold
people
on.
make
Hold on.
9/11 jokes all the time, right?
He's being a
Talk-
little
you
bit
know
of a
what I mean?
hypocrite.
Don't make this shit any
No,
better.
People take-
Hold
it
on.
doesn't,
Hold on.
But still,
It doesn't, and he's being a little bit
people
of a
let it fly.
hypocrite. No, they do. And did you guys watch the ESPYs?
No.
He shit on Skip Bayless for it. Skip Bayless tweeted about DeMar Hamlin, and which obviously that was wrong for Skip to tweet. But in a sense, Skip didn't mean it in a negative way.
Yeah.
He was explaining himself from how football used to be. What Pat McAfee did was just trying to cause a scene, trying to get that reaction. That's a little bit hypocritical. I am kind of surprised at McAfee for that one because he whipped Bayless for what he said about Damar Hamlin.
Does it change your mind that he was replying to one of his friends? It wasn't a direct tweet by him. He was replying to a tweet.
No, it doesn't. No. Especially where he's employed by ESPN. ESPN is owned by Disney. ESPN is super woke and liberal. He should have been more careful with what he's saying. I personally don't have a problem with it. I think it's funny.
Yeah, like if he said that to me, like, and like I wouldn't care because I'm not really, but I'm not a sensitive person when it comes to that kind of stuff.
No,
but I understand how it could bug people. There's people who were raped by this man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you're making jokes about
it. I get it, and especially I'm going to say it again for somebody who's employed by ESPN, you need to be more careful with what you tweet.
Yeah, but I also feel like we need to find. I feel like we need to find this middle ground, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's not it.
There needs to be a middle ground. I feel like it's never going to be found because, again,
we're hypocrites. It'll never be found.
Because there's people. What I'm trying to say is there's people who, they're upset about, because Pat McAfee said this NASCAR thing, where that same person will make a 9/11 joke. Not every one of those people. Some
that's
go hand in hand, but there are people like that, and it's just like
absolutely. No, I agree 100%, Sean. I agree 100%.
Well, yeah, but the thing about that is I'm also with Merritt is because now Pat McAfee has kind of made his personality off being the kind of don't give a fuck, saying outlandish things.
Exactly.
But you're employed by ESPN, you have to understand can he get a PR man or something? Goddamn. Like this man's out here just saying shit.
No, I don't want McAfee to have a PR man. No way.
No.
I like his raw emotion. I think it's great.
That's what makes him so special.
Yeah, absolutely. I love his raw emotion, but at the same time, dial it back sometimes when you're tweeting.
Yeah.
Like, if you're think about this. When Stephen A. Smith is doing his podcast, it's not featured by ESPN. Not that Twitter's featured by ESPN either, but he kicks it up a notch. He curses. He says what he truly feels. However, he still doesn't make comments that would be nationally controversial like what Pat McAfee did. There's still a difference.
When you get a chance, you'll have to watch his response to the whole situation too, because he basically didn't apologize. He says he thinks NASCAR is a bad person, but he doesn't apologize for for what he said. And he said what he said in that tweet is PG compared to the shit that he said in that studio.
He's not wrong.
I don't know, man. I just don't agree with the comment in general, just because I'm with Sean, though, because at the end of the day, a lot of us we're hypocrites. Like, somebody will make a 9/11 joke, and then they think shit like this. Oh, well, that was about this, and this has to do with kid. It don't matter. You can't. It's not selective. Like, if you go, you can't just deem one joke as appropriate, and then the other joke is offensive based on what. You have to respect not respect everybody's views, but you have to respect the fact that that's just like, even if I don't think driving into a fucking a building and killing a bunch of people is as bad as the shit with, like, I don't know, man. The people, people just it's like selective enforcement on what the fuck they get mad about.
I'm just saying, man. Like, we got rappers dropping Columbine bars and songs and shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely, Sean. I couldn't agree with that.
I mean, that's wrong too, but that's rap. Like, that's a whole different, that's a whole different subject. I mean, because now if somebody was to drop a Hitler bar, would they be canceled? Let's talk about it.
No. Absolutely not. It's happened.
You don't think so? I killed 30 million of you. It's like Hitler.
It's happened.
Yeah, that's happened plenty of times, man.
I mean, you guys are bigger rap fans than I am.
That's happened plenty of times.
Ian, in the world of battle rap, that happens.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Every other battle, probably. Like that. That's consistent. But back to McAfee. I'm not saying he shouldn't have tweeted it. I'm not saying he shouldn't have tweeted it. I'm not saying he should apologize for it. All I'm saying, he should be a little more careful.
Yeah.
Just as where he's employed by ESPN. That's
I
all.
don't think he understands his. I don't think he understands the fact that he works for somebody else. To be completely honest with you, because at the end, I mean, shit, ESPN fired Paul Pierce from being on live with strippers. Him making a fucking joke about a dude that touched what, like fucking 70. Like, you don't think that ESPN will fire him for that shit? He needs to be a lot more careful. I mean, ESPN is way too big. Disney is way too big. They do not need Pat McAfee. This shit,
No.
they don't need
Yeah.
any.
No,
single
you're right.
employee.
But to a counterpoint on that, Ian, Pat McAfee doesn't need ESPN, either.
I was just thinking the
Yeah.
same thing. They don't need
Yeah.
each
He
other.
doesn't, but shit like that ruins your public image too. Because I mean, I don't think things.
I don't
mean,
think it will.
I'm
Not
a
his
pretty-
fan
No,
base.
it does. No,
Not
Ian.
his
Here's the
fan
thing.
base.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
What it
You don't
does
think it does?
is no. It may turn some people off. However, what it's also going to do, it's going to create a whole new fan base for him too. For every fan that he loses, he may gain 3 for
Yeah.
saying stuff like that. Because there's always people who love to hear controversial stuff. There's always people who want to be on the other side of things
Mm-hmm.
that are like, oh yeah, fuck, say whatever you want. Nobody like there's
Yeah.
and to be honest, I'm one of those people that does not care either way. If someone doesn't want to be controversial, but I still like their opinions and I still like their sports takes, I'll listen to them. If someone wants to be controversial and go off the hinges and make these crazy jokes, I'll listen to them for entertainment too. I don't judge either way. I could give a fuck less.
Yeah.
But as far as just when it comes to McAfee and ESPN, Sean, you hit the nail on the head. Neither one of them need each other at all.
I don't think anything's gonna come of it either. I think things will be fine. But I just thought that was it was a pretty crazy situation. Like I said, watch that response video when you get the chance.
I'm gonna have to because that's
Yeah.
something that I'd really be interested in.
Yeah, it kind of gives you more of a feel of the situation.
That shit is wild that he would say something like that and be like, "Oh my god, you got like that shocked Pikachu meme that." Like,
Again, I just was not surprised because I just know his personality.
I'm not surprised at all. That 110% seems like some shit he would say, but like that's just like old boy Mary was saying brought the weed to work. It's like you can't bring it to work, bro. Like you can't do it. Like there's just certain shit you should know not to say. There's certain shit you should know not to do. That's
Yes.
one of them. Like same thing. Like oh yeah, we just swept the fucking Lakers worse than 9/11. Like you don't say shit like that. Like I mean, and the thing I mean, 'cause think
okay.
about how many
First of all,
people-
Ian,
uh-huh.
I love
Yeah,
you,
go ahead,
brother.
go ahead.
I love you, brother. That
ahead.
example made no sense at all.
Wait, go ahead.
No
Tell
sense.
me how it made no sense. Go ahead.
Because you said we swept the Lakers worse than 9/11.
You get what the fuck I was saying.
You could have
like,
said we
killed
bombed
them
the
like
Lakers worse than
9/11.
9/11.
You get what the fuck I was saying. Continue.
You could have said they collapsed like the towers on 9/11.
See,
Okay, now we're getting a little
9/11 jokes.
You
Now we're
got that
getting into
editing
Pat McAfee territory.
Oh yeah, edit that laugh out. Fuck the jokes. Just edit that little gap. But yeah, nah, man. I mean, I don't know. People are too. I wouldn't say too sensitive, man. I just think people are hypocrites. I just think.
No. People are people are way too sensitive.
Did I say people aren't sensitive?
I'd like you said. I don't think people.
Well, the
I
reason
think,
why I think
Well,
people
I
get
was like,
upset at
that's not
stuff
my
like that
main-
is because they think the person doesn't care. Or at the end of the day, I don't think Pat McAfee thinks that Larry Nassar is a good human being. Ian,
No,
I
of
don't
course
think
not.
you're happy about the people who died in 9/11. You know, you're just making a joke about something that happened 20
yes,
years ago
of course.
in a statement,
course.
in a comparison.
But comparing the
If we're
equipment
just
manager that made these
sad about
uniforms to
something
Larry
the whole
Nassar,
time, then that's just fucking a whack way to live life, man. It's just a whack way to live life, in my opinion. You gotta have boundaries. You can't go too far, but there needs to be that middle ground found, and we haven't found it yet. I don't think we ever will.
No, nobody will ever find it because, for one, people are always gonna find stuff to be offended about,
Yeah,
no matter what. It's just how life is these days, and
yeah,
whatever. It's fine.
yeah, yeah. It's facts. It's facts.
But at
at the same time,
I was just saying. At the same time, you can't live your life scared to be yourself. Like you have to be able to. If you think something's funny and you want to say it, you gotta be able to say it. You can't just hide your whole life because
Yeah,
you're
you
scared
can't
of who you
just-
might offend.
you gotta just not care.
I don't want to have regrets on my deathbed.
At the end of the day, you just gotta not care. Life is so much
Exactly.
better when you don't care.
You gotta just consider it.
Yeah, just consider it. Exactly. Ian, you've had about an hour to think of a question that we
An hour?
like to
Right?
ask.
Oh shit, it's been an hour.
And I was just wondering, have you thought of said question?
For the question at the end of the show is what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The part of our show where we come and I ask the question. No, yeah, I did. I did think of it. What is, and I had this was on my mind a couple weeks ago. I was debating whether or not this is the one I wanted to use. What's the most heartbreaking you've ever been for a sporting event? Like one of your teams losing. Me was USC versus Texas 2006. I'll get into it a little more, but I wanted to hear you guys like what your guys' things was. Sean, I'm gonna
I'll
just
let
take
Sean
a
go.
guess.
I think
I know what you're gonna. I know what
Sean's.
you guys are gonna guess. It
Sean,
depends on the
to me,
sport,
yours is
really.
one of two.
Yeah,
I
don't
already know what 2 you're gonna guess. Can I guess what you're gonna guess?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
You're gonna guess
Yes.
Super Bowl 48 with the Broncos and Michigan State versus Middle Tennessee.
No, I wasn't.
Ooh, when you drove all the way to when you flew all the way to Dallas, and you guys got your ass beat by Alabama. Was that it?
That's not even close.
Oh, when you guys lost to North
Mine?
Carolina in 2009.
Sean, here's what I was gonna guess. 2012 against the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. That's one. That's one for sure.
That was gonna be my guess. Okay.
Yep. The other one was Middle Tennessee.
Flip the table. Flip the table. Guess mine.
The Tony Romo botch snap.
That's a good guess.
No.
That was a really good guess. Oh no, wait, not this past year. The year when Dak ran out of time. That's just a.
I hate how my team has so many of these, but no, not that one.
The Celtics against the Heat.
Nope.
Game 7.
Nope.
The
Aaron
Warriors
Boone against
versus
the Red
Celtics.
Sox.
No, wait. Yeah, it wouldn't be the Warriors. Celtics. They got their asses kicked.
3 words. It's 3 words
Has to do with Maine.
that I still stand by. Nope, has nothing to do with Maine.
I was
3
thinking
words that I
back
still
to
stand by. Dez caught it.
Oh,
the
dude, that was your
Packers.
guys' year. That was the year where you guys were you guys were like what, fucking like 12-4. You guys were balling in Green Bay.
12-4. Yep. Would have
he
beaten
caught
Green
that
Bay.
shit.
Yep. That
Wouldn't
was
have
it
beat the
because
Broncos, though, so it doesn't matter.
we wouldn't have faced the Broncos. You guys got knocked out by the Colts that year.
Oh, I thought this was 2015. Wrong
Nope,
year.
2014. Yeah. But yeah, that would be mine for sure. We had the best offensive line in the league. DeMarco Murray, I think, led the league in rushing. Tony Romo had his best season. Dez was an absolute monster that year. Oh my goodness. And we got screwed over by the refs.
Oh well, now you know what it feels like to be one of those Lions fans.
But Sean,
Yeah.
what was yours? What was yours? Like
It's
the
really hard
one that
because
sticks
there's
out the most.
Because there's really so many. Because I have one from my childhood, and that's the Broncos
Okay.
and the Steelers in 2005.
Okay, I'm gonna try something with you, Rick. All right. I'm gonna count down 3, 2, 1. Don't think, just say it. First one that comes to mind. You
I'm
ready?
not ready. No, I'm not ready.
3, 2, 1. Just say it.
Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee.
That was
There
a
you go. That's what it
championship
is.
team, and they lost to a 15 seed, bro.
Who'd you guys
Yeah,
have that year? Was it Adrian? No.
Valentine.
Oh, trash ass Valentine.
Damn. Tell him how you
You know,
really feel.
this is a public podcast. No, I'm just playing. Valentine's not trash. He had some decent years with the Bulls. He just, I don't know. Whenever I think of the good Michigan State players, he don't come to mind. It comes like Draymond.
He was
Cassius
good at
Winston.
MSU. He just, unfortunately, ran into that situation with Middle Tennessee. They faced a really good team. Because remember, he was getting triple doubles. He was balling his last year. He was getting triple doubles. He won Player of the Year, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not like the major one, but he won a lot of the Player of the Year awards. You know how they get
Yeah, I think-
multiple.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, Derek Nitz.
Isn't
too.
Denzel Valentine playing in Australia
No,
now?
I think he's playing in Maine, actually.
I think he plays in. He might, but I thought he played in Australia now.
He played in Maine this most recent season, unless something recently happened.
I could have sworn I saw something about him in Australia. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Maybe he moved.
Yeah, he plays for the Sydney Kings of the Australian National Basketball League.
Ah, nice.
What the fuck? Yeah, no,
Where's
mine.
Giselle?
That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah,
What's
mine.
yours?
Did you have a class with Jaren Jackson, Sean?
Jaren Jackson and Xavier Tillman. Who would have thought they would wind up at the same team?
That is crazy. You should have fought them both.
Yeah, I don't think I would have lasted long in that fight, especially 2-on-1.
All right, Ian, what's yours?
Sorry. USC versus Texas, 2006. That's the first game I ever watched USC lose. I literally started watching football. Well, the day they lost to Cal is the day that I really remember actually acknowledging that college football exists. You know, when you're young and you don't really remember shit before like the age of 7, you just kind of all of a sudden just morph into. Yeah, so, and then I literally won 34 games in a row. Fucking beat Notre Dame when Reggie Bush pulled that illegal ass play and pushed Matt Leinart.
Into the.
I don't know if it's illegal. I'm not gonna get into it, but I just know that was anyway.
People
and
do it
then
all
Vince
the time
Young,
now.
that Vince Young's performance that night might be the greatest championship performance ever anywhere.
It was.
Like, that
it
dude,
was. There's no might. It was.
I don't even know. I mean, that's the only thing I could. I mean, they made some big hits, and then Reggie Bush made a fucking boneheaded play in the Pete. I don't know why they keep letting Pete Carroll. He's like fucking Joe Biden. It seems like at the end of the fucking game, how senile he is, bro. So you have fucking Marshawn Lynch, bro. This dude, he drives around drunk for fun. And not gonna give him the fucking ball on the 1 yard. Hey, you know what? Fuck my greatest memory. Let's talk about why they didn't give Marshawn the ball. It was second down, wasn't it? They had 2 timeouts.
Because they wanted to make Russ the hero. There's no big story about it. It's exactly what it was. They didn't want Marshawn to be the fucking hero.
There's no
Well,
way.
I mean, I'm sure
That's
he's a
exactly
fucking
what
hero
it was.
to Future's fucking kid now. But
Seriously.
regardless, they should have gave the ball to Marshawn.
He's gonna be a hero to Future's kid.
Like, damn, bro. Like, I fell asleep. I was faded, and I woke up like they lost. I just hear my neighbors like, "Oh, why they run the fucking ball? Why didn't they run the ball?"
Fun fact: I watched that game in a room full of Patriots fans, and when Jermaine Kearse caught it off the tip, and then got to the 4-yard line, I believe, everyone in that room went silent. All they thought was, "Oh fuck, this is David Tyree
again,
all over."
Mario Manningham again. I mean, shit, that was a crazy
No,
catch.
no. The Mario Manningham thing, great catch. That was more about the throw than the catch, though. Eli Manning.
Yeah, that was a dime.
Perfect.
Right to the sideline. Perfect for sure.
But either way, we're getting off topic here. I was watching that game in a room full of Patriots fans. They went dead silent. I didn't say much because I really didn't have a dog in the fight. Obviously, I wanted to see Seattle win because, Tom Brady sits to pee. But once they threw that pick to Malcolm Butler, once Russell threw that, they lost it. I'd never seen Patriots fans go from 0 to 100 real quick. I almost called Drake. Like, it was...
Copyright.
Copyright.
It was nuts.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a fun hour, I'd say.
Always is.
I've had a good run, had a good show. The run's going to continue. This is the best we've done since we first brought this podcast back. We're here on episode 3. And again, if you're listening in the past, or in the future, I should say, we're in your past. Today is August the 1st, 2023. And hopefully we'll be back with an episode soon. I probably won't be in it. I'm just so you guys know, I committed to do monthly shows. I know these guys know, but just for the audience. It's because I got a lot of stuff going on, but I do want to at least.
You're a busy man, Sean. It's all good. It's all good. We'll probably have Dunks on next show, but you'll be back. You'll be back in September.
I'll be back for the start of football and college football season.
I was gonna say, hopefully in football season you can commit to a show every 2 weeks, just so we can get our football talk out there. If not, no biggie. But
absolutely,
we're always
definitely try
your
to.
Mixed Reactions always here for you, Sean. You know that.
Facts. And we appreciate, of course, everybody in the Mixed Reactions Facebook page, everybody who has participated. It's crazy how long that page has been active.
I'm going to say this too. One of us, we will post this show to that page. Comment down below if you ever want to jump on a segment. We'll try to make it happen.
Facts.
So,
well, gentlemen, that is going to do it for today. Thank you once again for tuning in to Mixed Reactions. This is Sean Mike, KC Merritt, Ian Blackwell, signing off.
lady up.